What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Mikey Pipes. We have an exciting Wednesday today, hump day. Love me hump days almost as much as I love me Fridays. We got one 48,000 4-ton BTU Mikey Pipes private label by ACiQ side discharge heat pump inverter going in. Not one, but two, and maybe, just maybe, we'll find a home for the third. This is the 9,000 BTU single zone. It doesn't match the color, unfortunately. Penny! It doesn't match. The cream white doesn't match the dark gray. You know what I'm talking about, folks. You see it over there. We got two of those outdoor units going in, possibly the third. Daniel, Derek, and James are going to manhandle that this morning, mounting those to the wall of a new construction renovation project we got going on not too far away from our shop here in Woodmere, New York. Look at the maintenance agreement war board, folks, for a minute. Look at it. I did not update it since I left yesterday. Obviously, since I'm not here, right? But we're at 270 as of yesterday afternoon at 1 o'clock. 13.4% to the goal, as long as my math is correct. Hey Siri, 270 is what percent of 2,000?
270 divided by 2,000 is 13.5%.
13.5. That's right, baby. 13.5% to our goal of 2,000 active maintenance agreement clients. I had to update the board a little bit. James has one. Derek has one. Oh, sorry. James has two. Derek has one. Daniel has three. I have six. 13.5%, 270 active. And it is $1,360 for the month. We are almost halfway through week 4, folks. 12 o'clock today. We're halfway through week 4, which is halfway through the month. We'll update this, and on Monday of next week, start over. Folks, we started this board. I had the idea for the board just under 200 active maintenance agreements. Now, not even a month late, well, a little over a month later, we're at 270. We are really, really building relationships with our clients, promoting our services, and locking in not only the client, but the home for a lifetime. And that's what we're doing, folks. We're building value, developing those relationships, and offering and providing exceptional, prompt, professional, reliable HVAC and plumbing services to our community. Guys, it'll work in any neighborhood, regardless of your demographic. You can offer this and you can really build your brand. And you can further build your brand by offering private label equipment. If you're an HVAC contractor and you are installing, you're paying to put someone else's name in your clients' homes, on the side of their homes, their basement, their attic. Why are you leaving money on the table? Go to ACiQ.com/Mikey Pipes. Sign up to get information to become a dealer. I'm not going to say there's no cost or obligation, but folks, if you thought you needed a boatload of cash, you needed a major commitment, folks, go to ACiQ.com/Mikey Pipes. They will take care of you. And trust me, they mean business. Kevin, Tyler, Penny, Nicole, Marshall, Sal, Chris. I'm leaving out dozens of names because there are tons and tons of amazing people over at ACiQ, all under leadership of Kevin, the owner, and Tyler, the second in command. Why aren't you having these? Why aren't you putting these on your equipment, right? Private label equipment. Why aren't you doing that, folks? You're leaving money on the table. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to say this one more time. Then we're going to go on with today's episode. I got to make myself an espresso, okay? Yesterday, I went to a client's location, Oh, what is that? A piece of cocky in there, right? No. Yeah, it's all right. Put a little sugar in there will make it feel better. Yesterday, I went to a residential client, existing residential client. I have not been there since 2017. I installed the Rheem 90% gas furnace in 2012 as an oil to gas conversion. 2012. And it has not been touched by these hands or anyone's hands since then. I didn't have Daniel. I didn't have the other Mike. I had myself and I had an apprentice. And I gotta tell you, I am not a tin knocker. I am far from that. And let me tell you something. I think it looks pretty effing good. For a heat-only system, I cut some sheet metal. I used the bender. I made it work. I slapped some mastic tape on it. And it still looked great. 13 years later. 13 plus years later. You can imagine what it looked like after 13 years of zero maintenance. But let me tell you what I offered, because the homeowner was not concerned about, mechanical breakdown. They weren't concerned about that. They were concerned about the noise that the system is making. More louder lately than for the past 13 years. And they said, Mikey Pipes, can you put in something quieter? I was like, well, of course. Let me tell you about this American company, right, based in Ohio, that manufactures amazing HVAC equipment that's ultra efficient. And I gotta tell you, Mrs. Jones and Mr. Jones, they are so great at what they do that if I put in their flagship, the equivalent of the Rolls Royce, their 97% modulating, condensing, variable speed, high efficiency furnace, Mrs. Jones, I ain't bullshitting you. They opened the door with an F-bomb earlier, so I was like, I'm not bullshitting you. It's like, but you won't even know this thing is on. I was like, oh man, Mikey Pipes, like, we can't afford that. I'm like, you haven't even heard the price yet. It's like, I know this is I had a quote. We got a quote for this Carrier Infinity communicating system. The dealer wanted like $24,000. I'm like, what? I almost fell on the floor. They're going to replace this what they call supply. She actually showed me the quote. They're going to replace the supply transition from the overhead duct to the furnace with a piece of nice insulating canvas. I'm like, oh, really? What else are they going to give you? Are they throwing you a free Rolls Royce too? They're going to give me a new return plan from up here, they said, down. They're going to make a nice swoosh. They said swoosh. I'm like, swoosh. Okay, swoosh. All right. They're going to put in a 4-inch filter media there. Oh, like you have now already. Well, they said they're going to like redesign the cabinet. You know you don't have a cabinet right now, right? We have the sheet metal. They said they're going to repurpose it. $24,000. They're going to give you a Carrier. Are they giving you that nice colored touchscreen thermostat? It's like, let me show you what they gave us. Folks, I ain't bullshitting. They already did part one of the job. I'm not bullshitting you, folks, by giving them a Bosch BCC 100. I'm taking things a step further. We're going to give them the T10 Pro. Right? Oh, my God. Folks, if I told you that the number was well under $10,000 installed, I wouldn't be lying. And I'm including a 10-year parts and labor warranty. And then I told them for $29 a month, until you cancel, you will have a lifetime equipment warranty, which means if this equipment should fail and needs replacement, I'm going to give you one for free. You're not even going to pay for labor. Because that's what we'll offer. That's what we're offering now for 2026. $29 a month for a heating-only furnace. When you purchase a Mikey Pipes by ACiQ system, you're getting a 10-year parts and labor warranty. And for $29 a month, you ain't getting Obamacare, folks. You ain't even getting Blue Cross Blue Shield. Jeez, I got fucking Oxford, United Healthcare. You're getting the Mikey Pipes Ultimate Home Comfort Plan. They couldn't believe the price. They gave me a check for the full cost of the job. They said, Mikey Pipes, we're going to transfer some money into the account. I was like, listen, yeah, I don't normally keep that figure in my checking account. Right? A lot of fraud out there, you know what I mean? Folks, I ain't bullshitting you guys. I've been keeping it real. The purpose of my channels is to promote transparency. And if you align yourself, whoever the manufacturer is, they need to help you grow. And if they're not helping you grow and they're not helping you nurture those relationships that you have and build new ones by having a great website, by having co-op funds for marketing or target marketing in your area, are they doing direct mailers around your recent installs? Is your manufacturer doing that for you? I'm not here to brag, or I'm just telling you about how great I am feeling that I'm aligned with ACiQ. The fact that I have all the numbers in this phone of every person I could possibly speak to and ever need, with the exception of people in the warehouse, and they do a great job. Wait until you see this furnace install. Wait until you see this furnace install. The folks over at ACiQ, even the warehouse, we have a bond, even though I never met them. But that's gonna change in April. But I have their numbers in my phone. And yes, I may have to wait a little bit. I'm not gonna call the owner of the company with a technical support question. You call tech support, right? But may have to wait a little bit, it's fine. But if you call some of these big brands that make you pay $20,000 a year to become a dealer, and you gotta wait on hold and get a call back the next day, what good is that, folks? Please tell me what good that is. Because I'm confused, I really am. Anyway, folks, we've got to mail out a bunch of stickers this morning. We have to do a couple posters. And in case you guys don't know, we got some posters. These are the Mikey Pipes version 2.0. This is the 2025 jump off right here. The Mikey Pipes, if you ain't testing, you're guessing, it'll be autographed. Right now we are up to 129 of 150. Now there was a little bit of an overrun from Hat Show Print. These posters were commissioned by me at the nonprofit organization Hat Show Print, located inside the Country Music Hall of Fame in Nashville, Tennessee. That's the version 2.0, which is right there. That was version 1.0. That sold out in like 3 weeks, 100 of them, a run of 100. But most importantly, these posters are available for a donation of $42.50, payable Cash, Zelle, Venmo, Cash App, you name it, crypto, gold bullion, bearer bonds. You want to send your girlfriend, your wife over, I'll nurture her a little bit. $42.50, 100% of your donation goes to the Mikey Pipes Philanthropy Charitable Organization, where, all joking aside, there are people in our community, they can't afford some basic necessities, which is running water and shit going down the hill, warmth, and having a climate-controlled home. There are a lot of people who can't afford to do that. I get emails on a daily basis from people in situations across the country. And the goal of the Mikey Pipes Philanthropy Charitable Organization is to provide free or low-cost plumbing, heating, cooling services to those in the community who can't afford to hire a professional. I'm not exaggerating. Yesterday, we got we got two emails yesterday from the pipesforfree.org website. I just don't have the manpower to help all these. I am in the process of creating, and I'm hoping, hint, hint, maybe the folks over at ACiQ can help with this, be a corporate sponsor. But hint, hint, I am in the process of, we're developing a directory service or website in association with pipesforfree.org and the Mikey Pipes Philanthropy Charitable Organization, where we're going to have a directory of vetted vendors who would like to help those in the community. And it's a great way of giving back and paying it forward. So we're in the process of trying to make this directory where we're going to have the community, contractors, whether you're in the plumbing trades, cooling, heating trades, and eventually we'll merge into electrical and things like that, roofing, maybe windows, things like that. But the goal is to be able to provide those in our community who are just less fortunate than us and they just need a little break. And it could be just fixing a leak under the kitchen sink that they can't afford to hire the plumber for, and the handyman's been there twice and he doesn't know what he's doing. Things like that, or maybe they have a busted, a window in the house, and for a while there's been a piece of plastic over it or a piece of plywood. Let's see if we can develop that network, and that's the ultimate goal. I would love nothing more than to do that full time and create content doing such and just putting smiles on people's faces. That's, at the end of the day, that's it's fun. It's fun, and it's exciting when you put a smile on someone's face, turning that frown upside down. It really is. So guys who've done this before know what I'm talking about. I don't do that much of it, but we have this organization and we try. So thanks, guys. I'm not gonna go teary-eyed. I gotta print some stickers. I gotta print some mailing labels to mail out a couple posters and mail out some stickers. If you want any free stickers, email me, Mike at MikeyPipes.com. See you tomorrow.